Welcome back to Killer Fun, where we explore the intersection of crime and entertainment. I'm Christy, and today I have another Outtakes episode for you while Jackie and I are taking a little hiatus. We always have fresh new content for you every other week. We have outtakes from previous episodes where there was whole discussions that had to be cut because of time, but were still super interesting, or tangents that we went off, or flubs. There's always plenty of those. And they are super fun, let me tell you. We love to laugh at ourselves, and this is a good way to do it. We're happy to share that with you. Today, I have outtakes from Wreck, Swarm, and Am I Being Unreasonable? First up, we have Wreck, the cursed cruise ship. Gosh, this was a fun show. We just really enjoyed it. We talk about a character's arc from a later episode. We kick a dog out of the room. We talk about why people might be afraid of cruise ships and why I, Christy, personally do not plan to go on a cruise. There are reasons. Though Jackie and her family love cruising, so we're so happy for them. I just don't want to go myself. We talk about what a bingo pro shop might have in it. Bad movies. What does it mean to draw a bath? What was Apocalypse Wow Wow Wow? Was that even anything? What staff will do for a passenger on a cruise? Long-term cruises, beverages, a whole big situation on cruise ships. There are cameras everywhere. And we talk about a raincoat killer. I had a lot this time.
Okay.
We'll have plenty of outtakes.
All right.
Okay,
here I am.
There we go. All right. All right, so let's talk about the cast. So a lot of these are British actors, so I don't know them well from stuff because they do a lot of British TV and not a lot of crossover stuff. We're going to talk about them anyway because they did a great job and it was super fun. So Oscar, oh my God, why can't I get this in the right spot? I'm having trouble with my microphone today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Deciding where I want it. Like when I'm looking at you, I want it in one place, and I'm looking down, I want it in another place.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't it just follow me? This is why people do the little headphone mics, but they're so pretentious looking. And
they're pretentious looking, and you know what? Like,
sound as good.
Even when you do turn, you kind of do turn into it, and it's not as
as uniform as you think it's going to be.
It takes a lot of work to get it as uniform as you think it needs to be.
Yeah,
and it's super compressed.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
It does sound like, I don't know, a glorified telephone.
Yeah,
that's just me. But yeah, whatever.
All right, so the cast. Amber Gappy is Lauren, and she's new to acting.
Okay.
She's a black lady who had a fiance when she started.
Yeah.
And then kind of ended up kissing somebody at a party.
Well,
maybe other stuff that you don't explicitly see on screen in the first episode. So
no, we also find out
it.
about her relationship in episode 3.
Oh, maybe I missed that part.
He shipped her off. He forced her to get the job. I say forced, encouraged her to get the job. Took her to the airport and said goodbye. I don't do long distance relationships.
Oh no!
And so literally, instead of just breaking off their engagement, he concocted a way to literally, as she said, I was literally shipped off.
Oh, I must have missed because that's what happens when I watch after the first episode. I'm doing other things along with it.
Oh yeah,
I missed a little bit.
Yeah, so she didn't cheat
again.
She didn't cheat.
Okay, good. It was filmed in Northern Ireland.
Okay,
Northern Ireland? No. North.
I didn't hear it until you repeated it, and then I remembered hearing it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we gotta kick a dog out.
Come on. Go play. I could just picture them being like, they tell us to go play, but I think they're trying to get rid of us.
Yes, we are. We're just trying to get rid of you, dog. We don't want you in here because you pant or play or scratch or snore. There are some real life businesses who are using them, Nate. using the name. I'm having a hard time today. What is the deal? I got plenty of sleep last night. I mean, plenty of sleep. I got like 7 hours of sleep.
That's
but
not
I
bad.
woke up feeling like rested. I mean,
that's-
like a good night is 8, but 7 is about normal.
Okay.
But coming on the heels of not sleeping. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is smart.
Because people are afraid of cruise ships in a lot of ways already, which I think is super cool that they're doing like this slasher thing on a cruise ship because that's your fear. You can't go anywhere except to dive with double middle fingers off the back. I mean, like it's very it can feel scary.
Yeah, that's fair. That's not why I don't want to go.
And that's not why you don't like it.
I don't want to go because I'm super prone to motion sick, first of all. Even like I can get motion sick like walking across the house sometimes. I mean, like really, like if I'm not in a good way, then it can really it can be triggered by just about anything. I don't have to be on a boat to do it. But there was we were thinking about going on a cruise, and then there was a number of instances all in a row about their plumbing systems not working properly. And I'm like, I don't want to spend thousands of dollars to get stuck in a glorified porta potty.
Yeah.
So we kind of decided back then that we were not super into the idea of cruises. And so we just, it's not a for us vacation, which is fine. I'm so glad. Many, many people love it. But probably, I'm not going to say never.
But probably unlikely.
But really unlikely.
Most likely that it's unlikely.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. And so this is my thought, is like a bingo pro shop. Is it for the players?
I don't know.
Because if it's just for the players, we're back to a bookshelf.
Yeah. We're having dots and seat cushions.
Maybe seat cushions,
Maybe a fan that goes around your neck. And blows on
visor
your face.
if you've got those stupid lights on.
There you go.
You know, maybe that's where they wear visors. Is they're always in crappy halls with ugly fluorescent lighting everywhere. So everybody has to wear a visor so they don't go home with a headache.
Ooh, that makes me want to wear a visor. I don't know why.
I always wore a visor in elementary school because of the headaches.
Right.
Yeah, which is funny. We were just talking about that before we started recording.
But
I wore a visor for a while because you couldn't wear a hat.
Yeah.
And couldn't wear sunglasses. You know, you couldn't do any of that. But you could wear a visor. Okay.
Because they wanted you to make you look as dorky as possible.
So that you won't wear it. And that's exactly what happened. They won. Yeah.
You should have been able to wear like cool, like blue tinted glasses or whatever.
Yeah. And if they had made blue light glasses back in the day, you could have just, Yeah. Yeah. But it wasn't a thing then. It's fine. I survived.
We didn't know. Yeah, because the cruise director would have like a general, like, they're responsible for maybe scheduling staff in certain places and
for all the programming.
Yeah, and all the programming and things that happen. But the staff captain is the head boss over all of the crew.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then I guess cruise director would still retain the creative client experience sort of responsibility.
Right. We don't see the cruise director at all.
Yeah, we do.
Did?
Yeah. He comes in when I about to send Aunt Lydia.
Mr. A.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's the cruise director.
The captain.
We don't see the captain. We only see the well, I haven't seen the captain in 3 episodes, but we have seen the cruise director. He's in and out.
I got confused and was thinking he was the captain. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I digress. There's going to be a lot of like little tidbits of shit I don't remember. I have to watch it again. Maybe pay attention this time. I got the the overall.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I need to go back and catch the things I missed. I don't know. It's one of those. Do I want to watch it or do I not want to watch it? Because
Yeah.
the worst thing I'm ever going to see with my eyes.
That's why. This is where MST3K, Mystery
Right.
Science Theater, this is where you can watch those things because they're so funny. And
they
so
are
it
funny.
just makes it a delight. The worse the worse the movie is,
Oh, the better
the better the episode.
Yeah. Setting up an elaborate. Setting up an
I'm sorry, I should laugh so
No,
hard.
it's funny.
It's just funny how, like, because it does, you do it once and then it gets stuck in your head. I get it. I totally understand. This is funny.
No.
How it happens to both of us, but
Yes.
wow, today it's just really.
It's bad today.
Yeah.
If you have a bathtub, they can draw you a bath.
Oh.
Things like that. I know.
Why do we say that?
Draw a bath? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't that
It
weird?
used to, I'm sure it has to do with like pumping water from a spigot, where you used to have to prime the pump, which is
Yeah.
the thing we still say, though I don't know anybody who's ever primed a pump in their entire life.
I mean, not for my home,
No.
but like at camp or,
Yeah.
even,
then.
even out in the, but
Yeah.
I've done it, but like, no,
Oh, well, now I
but
know somebody.
Draw. I guess because you draw it.
You prime the pump and then you draw the water from it.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's why.
Okay.
But-
that,
Whatever.
interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
An
it's fine.
aside.
They can handle logistics for you. Like, so the entertainers are walking by.
Oh my God.
And of course, it's all very pretentious and
It's
like
so funny.
hilarious and speaking to I don't know if that's really how the hierarchies work. I mean, I
don't
assume
know.
talent is probably gets some special privileges because that's the way life typically works.
Mm-hmm.
But they're putting on a show called Apocalypse Wow Wow Wow.
Yeah. What the heck is that?
It's nothing.
okay. Thank goodness.
It's made up. However, Jackie sees where this is going. On a UK TV station, ITV2, there was a show called Apocalypse Wow.
Wow.
The Guardian did a review. The title of this review is The Worst Thing You Will Ever See with Your Eyes.
It's great. I love how they this writer and this show person, runner, I want to say runner, creator, I don't know which one he did. Anyway, if he did it all. But whatever, this team brought in so many tidbits of
hilarious.
stuff everywhere.
Yes.
That's great.
So funny. So Apocalypse Wow is D-list celebrities taking part, as Lucy Mencken puts it, partake in physical challenges against professional physical challenge people. So it sounds to me a little bit like American Gladiators, where they had the contestants and they would come and battle the gladiators.
Yeah.
But they won money for themselves. And this is D-list celebrities winning money in the Torture Dome for charity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they talk about how it could have been great and could have been camp and so much fun. And it was just bad.
I want to watch it so badly. Please tell me there's an episode of MST3K that has covered this.
I don't know, but... So Karen, staff captain, says it's a difficult job and that if a passenger wants a pillow fort, that the crew should not only build them a pillow fort, but before that, they should ask them what pillow preference they have for it to be made out of. So I was like, what will they do for you?
That could go several directions.
Oh, yes, it could. So the pillow fort specifically is lacking information that I could find.
Okay.
But you can get a pillow menu from a butler on a cruise ship.
Oh, like,
So-
I mean, like, are we talking, like, wait, like, goose,
Yeah, or
Down.
acrylic hard soft.
right?
Yeah. whatever your preferences, foam, whatever your preferences. Are you a side sleeper or stomach sleeper? Might I recommend this pillow? They'll provide you with a whole like menu of pillow options. Now, this is for typically the either more expensive, luxurious cruise lines in total, or when you purchase a more expensive experience.
Yeah, like not the higher level, like suites.
Yeah, not everybody gets a butler.
No.
But if you do have a butler, there's a lot of things that they will do for you. Cruise Critic has an article about this. Some act more like attentive cabin stewards, keeping ice buckets full and delivering laundry. Others coddle you, for instance, setting an elaborate breakfast table befitting royalty in your suite.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
we haven't been like the first class, but we did buy like not below deck. We had we had a deck, right? Like we had the balcony, a balcony room is what it was called, right?
Okay.
So we had a balcony room, which is basically like, good middle.
Right.
And so, but all cabins have somebody coming in and out every day.
Right.
And
doing they make your bed and,
yes. And they do fun things. Like they make different animals out of the towels.
That's so fun.
And they'll do little things and they'll play all kinds of little games just depending on you and how they kind of get to know you. And and every once in a while they'll do something like leave some sodas in the room. Like they just do little things, Just so they're great. They're great at making your experience super fun.
That's very fun. So here's some services that they might provide.
Okay.
So they might set up your suite where they unpack and repack your bags for you so you don't have to do that. They'll restock your room with the drinks that you like. Yeah. They'll bring you CDs or books or board games or DVDs or whatever to your room. If you have a bathtub, they can draw you a bath, things like that. They can handle logistics for you, like restaurant reservations and things like that. Shore excursions. If you have special dietary needs, they can help make sure that the staff can accommodate that at whatever restaurant you're going to eat. They can deliver fancy food to your room or coffee in the morning or whatever. If you need to do laundry, they can expedite that. If you're really social and wealthy, you can throw a party and they'll help you. They'll help you organize that.
Yeah, there was a party enough for 2 people in our room. So that was enough. We were about at occupancy. So
what they won't do is you have to recognize that they will not work exclusively for you. They'll have a number of rooms that they're helping. So they may not constantly be available to you, but somebody usually will be. They won't babysit. If you're physically challenged, they are not your aid. They'll help in a pinch, but you should have a companion with you to help you with that sort of thing. And they won't travel around with you and do things. They're not your personal companion. And, you have your requests have to be within reason. The hottest restaurant on board the ship might not be able to accommodate you within 15 minutes of when you want to eat.
And they're not going to get you in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Good.
So Cormac, the real Cormac, snuck onto the boat when Jamie was already there to act as Cormac for a 3-month contract. So to avoid deception, the real Cormac has to stay in the cabin. You'd think he'd sneak off, but I guess it was several days before they were making it to their first dock. So
to avoid deception?
No, no.
Okay, I was about to say you might want to go back to that one because I was like, wait, what?
Avoid
detection.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
what I thought we were going with. Okay,
avoid deception. No, being deception. No, not being. Not being deception.
I think we need a different drink.
I think I need to stop. I think we do. I'll do that here in a little bit. I'm going to start that whole one over.
Right? And so a lot of remote workers are like, I can go do that because I work. And so it has excellent Wi-Fi. It's got business centers.
I was going to say.
And conference rooms and things like that you can go, so. Yeah, kind of think of those like larger planned permanent residence hotels sort of things, right?
Wow,
Condos.
interesting.
But like, yeah, I think the point is you don't spend a lot of time in the cabin. You get to find other places to
Right,
to
yeah.
work and go. And then the price does go up from there, like the bigger rooms you have.
Right.
Yeah. And you can
Interesting.
share. You can like say it's per person. So you can split it with somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Right? Not like you can, so you can like on a single room or something, you could do, I don't remember. There was some kind of stipulation about that.
Okay.
Where you can share it, but you have to not be on the same time. You have to switch out.
Okay. Yeah. So
Right.
if it's your room for 12 hours and the other person's room for 12 hours.
No. Like I'm going to live there for a year and they're going to
Oh, and
live there for
somebody
another
else's-
year
okay.
or months or whatever, like
Right.
switch off, like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense
Yeah,
than the
something like
12-hour
that.
thing. I'm like, okay, so you have day people and night people, I guess.
Yeah,
I
like
don't know.
like you can't share it. You can't. It is a per person,
Right.
So
Fee. Right.
fee, and so if you're gonna share the cost, you can't both be on at the same time,
Okay.
right? But if you're like going with your husband, both
Yeah,
of you are paying
paying.
per person.
Right.
You can't split that cost
Right.
between
Oh,
the
okay.
two
That
people
makes
in the
sense.
room.
Yeah.
So,
He was still drunk from the night before.
oh dang. Ugh.
Do you know how expensive that is?
I mean, well, no, because you have to
mean, I
buy you
guess he
you
could-
buy the drink package.
I was just gonna say he maybe bought the drink
Yeah,
package.
everybody has T-shirts. I have the drink package. Yeah, you just go. They just hand you stuff everywhere you
Oh,
go.
jeez.
Yeah, and you can buy a beverage package too that's not alcohol, by the way.
Okay,
so
right.
that you can just have
Of like all the sodas.
all the sodas. So like
Yeah.
our kids had the beverage package.
Right.
They had their like cool cup. They go anywhere. The other thing that comes with this is ice cream
Oh,
all the time.
they just constantly
Go
eating
get a
ice
cone
cream.
and fill it up. It's on the deck with the pool. Yeah.
Fun.
Super fun. And the drink package would often, they would do mocktails too.
Oh, fun. Yeah, so you could get, the virgin
Yeah.
margaritas
Yeah.
or
They had all of the
pina coladas
daiquiris that
or
were
whatever.
like just basically smoothies, right?
Right.
Or basically or slushies and
Right.
all that. They would do that. Yeah.
super fun. So he was Yu Young Shuls and Yu Young Shul. So there were cameras everywhere on that
Yeah, there
Sacramentum, and it
Sacramentum.
looks like the Sacramentum. It looks like any ship operating out of the United States, even if they're not flying the U.S. flag, may be required soon to have even more cameras.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes, that there was the National Defense Authorization Act in 2020 included some verbiage about anywhere where there's no reasonable expectation of privacy on a cruise ship should have cameras there.
Wow.
There are already many that they should eliminate basically all the blind spots. So if it's not a bathroom or a cabin,
Yeah.
you should expect to be
On video.
On video, which I'm
Okay.
like, good,
Yeah, kind of good.
do it. And they have to keep it for 20 days.
Okay.
So Lauren, who was a new crew member on the tour, asks Karen what they're allowed to do in their free time. And she says, what free time?
Yeah.
Seems like this is quite appropriate that Business Insider in 2019 had an article about the grueling schedules for staff on a cruise ship that they don't work 5 days a week. You don't get days off. You work every day that you're on the ship for the entire term of your contract. Now, the contracts usually last somewhere between 2 and 11 months, and then you would have several months off in between. So the most common length is 4 to 8 months for a cruise ship crew. You would usually work about 12 hours a day. It's possible you could work as few as 8. Many work up to 20 hours a day.
Ooh.
It's very grueling.
Goodness.
Yes. A reasonable thing to say. Basically, you're not going to have any
Yeah.
free time.
Wow.
Yeah. And the killer wore a raincoat when he was dressed as a duck. I was like, well, we can't get any blood on the costume. That would set the children off. Somebody would notice.
It looks so cute and scary.
Like,
and it was just, it's great.
It was ridiculous.
It's such a great duck outfit. Like, it's just amazing.
Yeah. So South Korea's most prolific serial killer was called the Raincoat Killer.
Oh.
Yes. He was Yu Young Shul, and he had a disdain for rich people and women because he was very jealous of wealthy people, and he felt slighted by an ex-wife. According to All That's Interesting, his wife was a former massage parlor worker, and she left him, and he later told authorities, women should not be sluts, and the rich know what they have done.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah. So he practiced first he had a long record before he ended up doing any killing, and he got out of prison after serving time for a rape.
Okay.
And he practiced on dogs.
Oh, of course.
Because of course. But he practiced, he didn't just start killing dogs and it progressed from there. He practiced
in order
to be able to murder people.
Ooh, Lord.
Yep. So he'd sneak into houses and kill people, and he attacked the wife of a millionaire and a wealthy man and his housekeeper. He'd break into their houses and kill them.
That this sounds exactly like the movie Parasite.
Oh, really? Oh, I bet it was based on it.
I bet it was, and I didn't realize that at all.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that movie.
Oh,
it was so good.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't steal anything when he went. So it took a long time for them to be able to make the connection of who this guy was. Then he started killing sex workers.
Okay.
So they're almost kind of getting too close. He had a girlfriend who worked in a massage parlor, and in the telephone room, which is code for prostitution, at least at some of these massage parlors. And so he would start calling sex workers to his apartment, and they would start disappearing. And but the authorities didn't much care.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So super fun. He had killed at least 11 women this way. And it was only because he called a massage parlor to get a girl to come over. And he called with one of his victims' phones, his cell phones. And the massage parlor, when the call came in and the caller ID came up, he recognized the number as a missing girl from his massage parlor and knew that she hadn't been in and they couldn't get a hold of her, and that nobody had seen her. And so they ended up organizing a sting on him and detained him until the police got there.
Good job.
Yeah. And he was only called the Raincoat Killer because he confessed, and he would chop up the bodies and bury them at the base of a mountain. And he wore a raincoat to show the police where he'd buried the bodies.
Oh, jeez.
That's the only reason he's called the Raincoat Killer.
Oh, I mean,
but it was
desperate for a name.
I mean, they need a kitschy name.
I mean, no, they just don't, though.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I'm mixed. I like a good name.
I do. Me too.
But I think it's not good.
Yeah. Because it makes them too cutesy.
It makes it cutesy and it glamorizes it and it kind of mitigates the actual impact they had.
Sure.
Right? You know?
All of the sources that we use to inform our discussion here on Killer Fun Podcast can be found on our social media. Join us on Facebook at Killer Fun Podcast, exploring the intersection of crime and entertainment. You can find us on Twitter at Killer Fun Pod, or you can send us an email at killerfunpodcast@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to share a link to whatever information you're looking for. We love to hear from you. You might learn a little something too. Up next, we have the outtakes from our episode on Swarm. This was all about the Beyonce fill-in person's obsessed fan. We get to see it from the point of view of the obsessed fan. It was so interesting, despite the fact that the first thing I do when I hit record is yawn pretty much every time I hit record. I myself have a little wardrobe malfunction. We talk about how it was shot on film. I struggle to find the name of one of my favorite artists. Jackie wanted to be a one-hit wonder. We talk about who Beyonce's Lemonade might have been referring to, cheating boyfriends, and then a little program discussion because sometimes we forget to make a final decision before we sit down and hit record. Enjoy. I'm gonna yawn. I don't know what it is about press and record that makes me need to yawn.
I'm exhausted already. All right, you have to mention one other person. It's later in the series.
Oh, okay.
But I have to mention
go ahead.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah, this is her acting debut.
It's amazing.
Okay, so this is going to have to go in the bonus material. I literally put my hand to my chest when Jackie said Billie Eilish and realized I have my shirt on backwards. I thought it felt a little weird around the neck. I thought it felt a little weird around the neck.
Well, now you know why. It doesn't look backwards.
No,
I'm looking at it and I'm like, I would not have ever known.
No. Oh, but see, it's more comfortable.
Oh,
so
that
down
doesn't.
A little further.
Yeah, that feels better, right?
It does feel better.
That is so funny.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. So I guess I could have waited till the break to do that, but
it's so funny. No, but it was because you did. I said Billie Eilish, and you went, oh, like she was, as if to be like, oh, she's so good.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what's that? My tag.
Yes. So continue. Billie Eilish. Yeah.
Yeah, all of those kind of things.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they shot it on film. How
I
very
know.
interesting, you know?
I
It was
know.
just, there's interesting things about it. I'm sure there's a bunch I missed.
Yeah.
While I sat in shock.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yes. And Donald Glover, somebody asked him about that in an interview I watched about why did you shoot it on film? And he goes, I don't know. It was a huge pain.
Yeah.
He's like, that shot was great. There was a hair in the gate, Mr. Glover. And he was like, and the guy asked him, what does that mean? He goes, I don't even know. It's bad, but it looks great. He's like, now that it's done, I'm glad we shot it on film, but it was a pain in the butt.
Yep. It gives you that particular grit, that particular depth, that particular realism.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when they do research, they have a scale called the Celebrity?
Celebrity.
No, it's not Celebrity. I
guess I've never.
Oh God, what's his name? I can't even remember his name. The guy who saw in concert, and I love him, and he's great. And he's from Norway, and he has a child with special needs. And I can tell you all these things about him, and I can't think of his name.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
I know you don't. Bernhoft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I
So,
should have been able to narrow that one down. But see, I'm a terrible fan.
I'm like, oh, we saw Bernhoft live like in 2018, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
2019, just prior to the pandemic. He was doing a stateside tour. We went and saw him in Austin, and I had listened to his album enough to say, oh, I hope he plays California live. You know. I've been listening to this song since 1986, and I have no idea who sang it.
So. Yeah.
To be fair, there were a lot of one-hit wonders in the 80s.
There was a lot. That was my dream. I wanted to be a one-hit wonder.
Aww.
Because you get to drop like an album, have a hit single, do the tour, and then go back and do something else with life.
Yeah. And you just have you can kind of have your old life back. And then you can end up on shows like the Goldbergs later. And
you can just be like, yeah, I was the one who did that song. And also, I don't live a nutso life. Yay!
And also, I'm here to sell you some real estate.
Also, yes.
That seems like what a lot of them end up doing.
Of course, I guess my dream may have been like expectation manage again with me, like a little bit like maybe that's better goal than like to become a superstar. because that's attainable, right?
Oh.
Okay, well,
It should have been attainable.
well, maybe so, but I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting way to do the musician thing. But I always like different things.
Right.
So I think in my head also it was like, well, I could do that, and then I can get to go do something else. You know what I mean?
Fun. Yeah. We have digressed quite a lot.
We have digressed. I feel like we have a lot of bonus material now.
So we do.
Yep. Okay.
All right. I thought this was interesting because Marissa gets devastating news the same night that Nija's visual album festival is dropped. And that, of course, is a very clearly a Lemonade reference. And it was very confessional, you know, so because it did have this confessional sort of nature, it really made people feel like she was they were very close to her. Like they really understood her and they wanted to defend her because they like her so much. So NYU Local has an article, Lemonade and the Cult of Fandom, that came out right after Lemonade did. And, you know, it was a very, very fast that people wanted to know who Jay-Z had cheated on Beyonce
Right,
with.
of course.
And of course, nobody knows for sure. Even still, it doesn't really matter. But people totally went after Rachel Roy, who is largely believed to be the person because it's Becky with the good hair on Lemonade who's identified as the person that her significant other has cheated with. Roy had posted herself with the caption of, "Hey, look at me and my good hair."
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so, but what they talk about is that people miss the point because the point was not that Jay-Z had cheated on Beyonce, but that there was reconciliation. You know, they focus on the first half of the album and not the second half.
Well, because morbid curiosity. It's gossip.
Right. Yes. And that's the more interesting narrative in Lemonade.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. That's, you know, that's what people saw is the more interesting narrative.
Right. Rather than the whole story.
Yeah. But if you look at it as a whole, it was tragedy and reconciliation and how beautiful that part of it is. Obviously it is. They're still married, still seem to be, you know, they have children together and seem to be doing fine. So
still performing together.
Them. Yes.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. As far as we know.
As far as we know.
I mean, I hope that's
I'm sure there's day to day, especially if they have to work together and then perform together. I'm sure there's some day to day.
And have children together. I mean.
Yeah. But I feel like they're ride or die, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope so.
You got to know your friend.
Right.
And you got to be willing to let them have their feelings about it.
Right. Well, yeah. And it's hard to know because I had a friend who her boyfriend was cheating on her, but I didn't find out till after the fact. And then when she was talking about getting back together with him, that's when I told her, hey, by the way,
you should know.
You should know. I heard that this happened. You might want to have a conversation with him about that. She didn't like that either.
No,
she still was like, no, I just want to have my feelings about this young man. And I was like, yeah, well, I'll be here when everything falls apart.
Yeah,
it was fine.
Sometimes you can only do what you can do, but you know, and you got to know what that is.
Right. Exactly.
And know where that line is.
Like, look, I'm not telling you this because I don't like the guy. He's fine. He's, nice enough, but I don't think you should date him because I think you're too good for him is basally what it amounted to.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to go out with him, I'll be here to pick up the pieces, but just know. Yeah. We didn't decide what we're going to talk about next time.
Oh, we didn't? I thought we both wanted that other one.
Which one? Florida Man or the other one? We decided we were going to sleep on it and then we never talked about it again.
And then we never decided. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Am I Being Unreasonable? Florida Man or Am I Being Unreasonable?
Yeah, I think the Am I Being Unreasonable, I rewatched both trailers and I was like, that one has a better chance of being entertaining.
Okay, yes, because
The second one could be really good because they're making a joke on the Florida man, but the trailer doesn't seem to inject a lot of comedy.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of what's it called? Mafia business.
And I'm like, you can't make the Florida man joke without it being
Right.
far more comedic. And the
right.
trailer really didn't go there. So
yeah.
I was like, okay. Once I realized
Okay.
that, I was like, you know what? Maybe
Okay.
the
All
other
right.
one. Yeah. Okay.
Welcome to the True Crime Gallery, the dark side of art, the season 3 mini-series finale of the Art Career Podcast, where we are going to uncover the dark and twisted tales where art and crime intersect. In this 3-part series, we bring you bone-chilling stories that will leave you captivated. We're going to begin this week with Dr. Noah Charney, telling the tale of the cursed Ghent altarpiece. Next week, I'm going to explore the horrifying use of modern art as an instrument of torture. I'm going to explore a crime hidden behind one of the Louvre's prized masterpieces and the disturbing artistic endeavors of a notorious serial killer. We'll end with the famous thefts of the Mona Lisa. Brace yourself for these haunting narratives, and thank you always for tuning in.
Finally, Am I Being Unreasonable? Speaking of cheating, we talked about cheating boyfriends in our discussion on Swarm. The whole thing with Nick and her deceased brother-in-law was that she was having an affair with him. Holy moly. We talk about how important recaps are to many shows and how helpful they can be for your enjoyment of them. We are all unreasonable at times. We talked about that. Not every show is a winner that we watch. We didn't talk about this here on Killer Fun, but we found slow horses to be wanting. We talk about accessible equipment for people with disabilities, what UK potato salad might be. We realize we don't exactly understand when the affair began. Maybe don't jump trains. You know, the whole hobo style of jumping trains, maybe not a great idea. How dangerous is old port wine? What does it mean if you hit your bird with a car? Using alcohol to deal with grief and more. They do the recap and you realize, oh, that's important.
That's important. Mm-hmm. They do that
it's
for
like
you.
a Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You always watch the recap because they bring stuff in, season 6 from season 1 and you're like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. And I mean, aren't we all unreasonable at times?
Oh, I think so.
I think so. I know I am.
Mm-hmm. I am definitely.
I'm very blessed to have a partner who will put up with my unreasonableness or tell me that I'm not unreasonable when I'm like, I know that this is an unreasonable ask of me, but...
And they'll entertain that.
Entertain it and validate it. And I really appreciate that.
Right. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing to have.
Yeah. It was a hard one. Let's just put it that way.
And that's what makes it less unreasonable. Welcome to complex storytelling. You are a complex character.
There we go. He was in Slow Horses on Apple TV with Gary Oldman. And man, I tried to like that show.
I really tried to like that show.
But it lives up to its name.
Wow. Isn't it true?
I mean...
And for a minute, you're kind of like, ooh, that's so meta. And then you're like, ooh, I want to watch anything else but this.
That's right. Yeah.
It had the potential.
And I didn't care for it. If it's your favorite show, I'm so happy for you.
I'm happy for you because I wish I had your superpower. I wanted to like it.
To sit through something boring?
Yes. to appreciate whatever it was about it. Because all this stuff kept building, but we just couldn't get there. And, in every instance where something's building and you can't quite get there, sometimes you give up on it.
That's right.
And And that problem is with Peachtree.
Right.
Peachtree. Sorry, Peachtree. I didn't say that right.
And this is a pretty common. So if a little person has the physical capabilities to operate a car, which they usually can do, depending.
Right.
There's all kinds of questions about everybody's situation is different
Right.
in this particular situation. They are used to buying cars and then they immediately void the warranty because they chop them up and do things so that they
do
can
things.
operate them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or make them safer. They disconnect the airbag because they sit too close for it to be safe.
Yeah.
These are things that happen. Okay.
Well, that makes sense.
Right.
I mean, it is sad though, because you feel like a company like Segway. These ones are big enough that they could just offer a limited edition model and offer a warranty.
Right.
It doesn't feel like it would take them that much effort to design a model that would be easily then customizable for each person without, causing them any liability with the basics of how it's constructed.
Seems like it could be a good PR move to
I mean,
say,
right?
If you are a little person who needs a Segway, we will work with you both on cost and customization,
Right.
to supply you with a mobility device.
Exactly. And I mean, in Lenny Rush's condition, he has that SEDC. I can't pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, I can't even, but it's a rare condition.
Right.
So it results in some other factors, right? But this is where if they would just say we could do this and then they make the limited edition, this is one of those things that makes his situation a little different than another person, who needs it. They could do that.
In this area, we're going to do a little hedgehog hunt, and then we're all going to come together and share our findings and have a potluck meal together.
That's awesome.
It sounds
I do wonder what kind of
delightful.
potato salad that they have there.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, because potato salad feels like a very Southern thing,
Yeah, well, there's German potato salad. That's served
Oh,
warm.
that's fair, and that is delicious.
It's really good. My dad, it's a pain in the behind to make. My dad made it a few times when I was a kid, but it was so good.
My dad's girlfriend makes the German potato salad.
Yeah. Oh.
It's fire. It's
so good,
amazing.
right?
Yeah, it's so good. It's the only kind of potato salad I like other than like Southern potato salad. And Southern potato salad, it's Southern because and I mean by Southern, I mean the Southeast kind of Southern is it's yellow.
Yeah, it's got to be mustard.
Yeah. And then outside of that, you can tell because like around here it's white.
Unless you get the mustard,
Unless you get the mustard one.
which is the only one I like.
Thank you.
The other one, I'm just like, I'll just not have any. And that's saying a lot if you can make potatoes, make me look at them and go,
I mean, right?
No,
Because
thank
I'm
you.
here for a lot of versions of the potato.
That's right. There's only, we have to honor our Irish roots.
I mean, that's true. All of a sudden, I can see us recounting all the ways we can make a potato, like we're Forrest Gump and we're talking about shrimp.
Yep. Bubba.
Bubba shrimp. Hold on. I'm going to ask a side question. Do we know, because I can't remember, on episode 2 that it began at her wedding? I think we do.
I think we do.
Because she tells the
Yes.
story that first night that she's over.
Because I believe the end of episode 2 ends with you seeing them in the hallway.
Yes.
Holding hands after he's told her right before her wedding, I think I'm in love with you.
Yeah. Because she
I'm gonna
tells
put all
Jen.
this in the bonus. So.
But she tells She tells Jen. That it's when she's being filmed.
Right.
That it started on her wedding day.
Right. I think, does she?
Yeah, she says it. We just don't see the flashback yet.
Right. Okay.
So we know it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That I needed to know that before.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe if you have another option, maybe don't. I know it looks romantic, but I did read an article in research for this about a guy who had a YouTube channel who suddenly stopped posting to YouTube, and they found out he died. But his YouTube channel was all about him jumping trains.
Oh my gosh.
It was like, but it had this very folksy, nostalgic sort of, I'm just going to
Polar Express type.
I'm going to ride the rail. No, not even that, like Polar Express, because it was all like cargo. So
Yeah.
it was a very ride the rails, Southern 1800s hobo, which was a terribly difficult and very unhappy existence. I don't know why we need to,
Just trying
romanticize
to
it.
bring something good out of it, I guess. But
guess.
I mean, it's not good. Don't do it. It's not safe.
No. Alex pees Merry Christmas in the snow, and it's gross.
That's gross.
Yeah, it is gross.
It's not cute.
And as an aside, now that we're talking about snow and fake snow, and why would he be writing Merry Christmas at this time when it wasn't around Christmas?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's the anniversary of his death, right? It's supposed to be around Ollie's birthday. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't
You're right,
make sense.
The timeline doesn't add up, and I didn't realize that until right now.
It's kind of
Until you
awkward.
said that tonight. Okay. Anyway, so Nick briefly believes that their missing cat, Mr. Miyagi, which is hilarious.
I mean, it's so hilarious.
I'm like, she's so our age.
I know,
Right? Like, she's so like in her mid 40s because she watched The Karate Kid. She's thinking wax on, wax off. She had to talk Ollie into that name. You know she did.
Yeah.
But she thought it was really funny. And they just never address it. They just call him Mr. Miyagi.
And like, don't ever say anything about it. It's really funny.
But briefly, she believes that this missing cat is found. So Nick and Jen drink in celebration and overindulge. And Nick's husband says he's surprised that Nick even woke up the next day because they drank port from 4 Christmases ago.
Yeah, that's not okay.
And I was
even
like,
if it was in the refrigerator.
Does it get stronger with age?
It gets worse. Right?
Well, according to Grape to Glass, they agree if it's with a normal cork and you open it, it should be gone within 2 to 3 days.
Absolutely. Agreed.
And if it's got a tea stopper style cork, which you can pull out and back in, it's a different way of corking it. It could last for 3 to 4 weeks without a significant deterioration.
But in the fridge.
Yeah.
It literally says on the bottle.
Yeah, refrigerate. Yeah.
After you open this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you any longer than that, get rid of it.
So wouldn't it get stronger? But they were drunk enough that they...
I don't know. I mean, I just think it would get
gross.
It would be like
4-year-old
bacteria is
port?
growing
No,
in
thank you.
there. Like, this is like eating the moldy leftovers you forgot was in the top shelf of the fridge. Ugh.
So Viv, the cleaning lady, arrives to Nick's house, and she's very upset because she's hit a bird, a pheasant. But she's also a very superstitious person.
Oh,
we see that a number of times.
I could use a lot of adjectives to describe this woman.
She is one of those people who I would not want to spend a lot of time with.
I understand. Nick running to get away.
Yes. But Thayer Birding says, what does it mean when you hit a bird while you're driving? So statistically, it's not a particularly uncommon thing. It's about 1 in 5,000 times you get in a car, you might hit a bird. But there are some situations that it could mean if you're inclined to that sort of superstition.
Okay.
It could mean an ending or a potential illness. It's typically a bad omen.
Okay.
So that's why she's so upset. And plus it's traumatizing to hit a bird.
Is it?
Oh,
Is it?
I've hit one bird, and it's very sad. My friend told me this is God's way of getting rid of the dumb ones. So just, it's all right.
I realized in listening to her speak that I have an immense lack of empathy for birds who get in front of cars. I'm like, you fly.
Yeah.
You have a level of intelligence that makes you aware of velocity and spatial awareness. It really is. You know, just wow.
Right. Well, if a bird collides with your car and flies away unscathed, you're supposed to have been visited by an angel.
Okay.
But if it gets stuck in your grill, that is the indication of an ongoing problem. Like, yeah, you got to clean your bird out of your grill. That's an ongoing problem.
What if it hits an Airbus taking off? And, takes out both engines and forces the plane to land in the Hudson. What does that mean?
I think it's
stupid birds.
Yeah,
they deserve to die.
There you go. It could signal the end of a relationship. Seems like Nick would like to end her relationship with her cleaning lady.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that she has, a cleaning lady. Must be nice.
I mean, yeah.
It's calling you to pay attention to your life around you.
Okay.
Maybe Viv could do with a little paying attention to the world around her.
Yeah, maybe
a little better.
In which case she would have realized that the bird was at fault. Go on with your life.
It's a pheasant.
It's a pheasant. Move on.
Stop and pick it up and have it for dinner.
She literally was like, it's the most traumatic thing.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
She was like in full grief mode. And I was like, I don't know. I was, you know what? Slow clap for Nick. She held on.
She did.
Because
she saw the ridiculousness of the situation.
But she did. She held on to the very end, all the way through a prayer.
Yeah. Yeah, which was hilarious. It was so funny. So Nick is absolutely using alcohol to deal with her grief.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that it does provide, some sort of numbness so that you don't have to feel your sadness and your pain and your grief, particularly after a death. But it actually is not very helpful. It acts as a depressant in the body and intensifies negative emotions. So not a good coping mechanism.
It's really not. I mean, no. Numbness, because numbness is good.
Yes.
It is. You could get numbness from a variety of places, though. I mean, you can do EMDR.
Yeah.
If it's like something like your boyfriend gets smashed by a train as he's hanging out of the train that you're on. EMDR might be good. Numbness is all right because it gives you a break.
Right.
From the onslaught. But alcohol is not exactly numbness. We think of it as numbness. It's not.
Right.
But it does relieve intense pain. And so I can understand why people gravitate towards it, but you really need to be super responsible.
And like a night of heavy drinking in order to forget might be understandable.
It happens.
Not helpful, but understandable.
Yes, understandable.
But she's like
it's not okay
heavily.
To binge constantly that. And I'm not a fan of even the binge at all.
No,
but that kind of binging is not helpful. I'm a little pretentious about the drinking thing, right?
Okay.
So, but like I get it, but yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
it's not a good coping strategy.
No. Yeah,
it's just an understandable consequence of life.
Right. Exactly. It can contribute to depression, and
it's not
really
good.
what you need is treatment for both your grief and your substance abuse.
Yeah, it's abuse. Absolutely. Right. That's moving into it.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you enjoyed these never before heard outtakes from other episodes, fresh new content for you. Make sure you tell a friend because it's so much more fun when you can listen with a friend. And next time I'll have our final set of outtakes for this hiatus. Do come back. They're all fresh, brand new, never before heard. And until next time, be safe, be kind, and wash your hands. Bum, 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 da, 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 da.